All right, let's go ahead and get started with the last chapter in Unit 8. This has been a long unit, so it's good to be in the last chapter. We're on dividend income. We've got 4 objectives today. I will understand the concept of share owners splitting the profit of the corporation they own. I will compute dividend income. I will compute the yield for a given stock, and I will compute the interest earned on corporate bonds. So we got a lot to do in this last one. So we've got quite a bit of vocabulary here. And I know this one area here looks a little weird. It's actually dividend income is that particular one. So make sure you've reviewed all of those before going through this unit. All right, looking at example 1. Roberta is considering purchasing a common stock that has an annual dividend of $2.13 per share. If she purchases 700 shares for $45.16, what would her annual income be from dividends? Now, because of this, I don't care about the price she purchased it by. The only thing I need to know is the number of shares she had, which was 700, how often she's going to get this dividend, which is annually, which is once, times how much she's going to get for each dividend. Well, anything times 1 is 1. So 700 times 2.13 looks like Roberta is going to get $1,491 in annual dividends. All right, please press pause. Go ahead and solve this. When you're ready, come back. Jackie purchased X shares of corporation that pays a Y dollar amount annual dividend. What is the annual dividend income expressed algebraically? Number of shares times the dividend times how often it happens, which is 1. So we're just at X times Y is our algebraic expression. Okay, example 2. Elyse owns 2,000 shares of a corporation that pays a quarterly dividend. So quarterly happens 4 times in a year. She gets 51 cents per share. How much should she expect to receive in a year? Well, she has 2,000 stock. She's going to have this dividend 4 times per year, and it's worth 51 cents for each dividend. So when I multiply all of those out, Elyse is going to receive $4,080 per year in her dividend checks. Okay, please press pause. Go ahead and solve this. Come back when you're ready. All right, Monique owns X shares of stock, quarterly dividends, so it's happening 4 times, and she gets Y dollars in her dividend share. So 4 times per year, times the stocks, times the dividends, and there's that one. Example 3, Kristen owns common stock in Max's Toy Den. The annual dividend is $1.40. The current price is $57.40 per share. What is the yield of the stock to the nearest 0.1%? So in order to find the yield, we have the formula taking the annual dividend per share, and we're going to divide that by the current price of 1 share. So it looks like the annual dividend is $1.40. The price of a share is $57.40. So when I divide that out, I end up with 0.0243902. Or if I convert that to a percentage, it wants it to the nearest 0.1%. So moving it over twice, I'm looking at 2.4% is the yield. Okay, go ahead and press pause. When you're ready, come back. Okay, so here, X shares, don't really need to know the number of shares. Y dollars per share and the annual dividend is D dollars. So remember, it's that annual dividend per share divided by the cost for one share right now, and then to make it a percent, we multiply it by 100. Okay, example 4. One share of BeepCo preferred stock pays an annual dividend of $1.20. Today it closed at $34.50 with a net change of 50 cents, negative 50 cents. What was the yield at yesterday's closing? So when we're doing that, we're going to take today's close plus the opposite of the net change, because we're going backwards. So we're taking $34.50, which is its closing, minus, again, is the opposite, the negative 50. So yesterday's close was at $35. We then take the $1.20 that he gets per dividend over the 35, which was the previous close, and we end up with 0.03429. Once we multiply that by 100, the yield here is 3.4, and that's rounded to the nearest tenth, 3.4%. Okay, go ahead and take a moment to solve this. When you're ready, come back and we'll work it together. Okay, so looking at this first, we know that it is a plus 40, so we know that difference is going to be minus a 0.40. We know that the annual dividend is $1.55, so when we subtract it, it's going to be X minus the 0.40 of that closing, and all of that times 100 to convert it to a percentage. All right, we're moving through pretty quickly here. Example 5. A stock paid an annual dividend of $2.14. The stock split for 2 for 1. What is the annual dividend after the split? Well, 2 for 1 means that we're basically going to take the value of this. There's now double the stock, but half the price value. So we're going to take the 214 and we're going to multiply it by your B over A to get our value. And we get that it is $1.07 per stock. This is what the new dividend will be. Okay, go ahead and solve this. When you're ready, come back. Okay, corporation was paying an annual $2.10 dividend. Went for a 2 for 3 split. So A is 3, B is 2. What is the new annual dividend? So remember, it's going to be B over A times the dividend, which is 2 over 3 times the $2.10. And we end up with a new annual dividend of $1.40. Okay, last example for the chapter and for the unit. Adam bought a $1,000 corporate bond at the Labate Corporation. The bond pays 5.7% interest per year. How much does he receive in interest per year from this bond? So it's very simple. We're going to take 1,000. He gets 5.7%, which written as a decimal is 0.057. So each year he is going to get $57. Last, check your understanding. Go ahead and press pause. When you're ready, come back and we'll work through this. Okay, if Adam holds the bond in example 6, for 11 years, how much will he receive in total interest? Well, we know he receives $57 for 1 year. We just solved that in the previous problem. And if he gets that for 11 years, it's a simple multiplication problem. And we find that his total interest that he gets in those 11 years is $627. And that does it for this chapter and for this unit. Good job, everyone. Let's move on to the last unit in the course.